Welcome back, everybody. Episode 73, Big Easy Blitz podcast. Merry Christmas, as you can see my shirt here.
Merry Christmas.
Um,
It's November 13th, 12th, November 12th. And we're saying
we're
Merry
one day
Christmas.
closer to Christmas. This video is brought to you by Mercado.
3750 Williams Boulevard, 70065, Kenner, Louisiana. Be there.
Check them out.
We're going to be there.
At
Check
some
them
point
out.
again. At some point again. Coming up soon, hopefully. But today, we got a shorter pod, not as much to talk about. But the biggest thing to talk about is how Nick Saban is the new betting favorite to become LSU's head coach.
I
We'll get into that. We'll put out a TikTok on that to elaborate a little bit more. But that's just crazy to think about. I'll say this later, but I'm not going to believe it until I see it. Personally, when he's in the stadium, face beat red, yelling at somebody
Yep.
while we're up 35. Not gonna. So we're also talking about Pels. They play tonight. Lsu'S, are we back?
LSU hoops.
2-0.
Two blowout
Two
win.
dominant wins. Yes, against UNO is a good team. I don't
Yeah.
know about Tarleton State, but UNO is a good team.
Tarleton State just won. They won last night. They beat Merrimack. So
They might be back.
is Matt McMahon building something?
Probably not, but we'll see.
We'll see.
LSU football obviously plays this weekend, 11 a.m. kickoff, which is
Wait,
atrocious.
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep, 11 a.m.
No.
But we'll get into all that. We'll start with the Pelicans. Or I'll let Connor say some words.
Yeah, so the 2-7, 2-8 Pelicans take on the Portland Trailblazers tonight. I will be in attendance in that game. I'm driving down there probably like 4:45 later today to be in the SKC. Brock is questionable. He might be coming with me.
Convinced me to go.
Yeah, I really want him to come.
Yeah,
But
Mom and Dad, when you see this video, Connor told you about it, but Connor's trying to really believe you.
yeah, I really want Brock to come to the game. But the Portland Trailblazers are playing good basketball right now. The Pelicans are not. They just had a brutal two games against the Spurs. They kind of kept it close, but then just they got absolutely obliterated by the Suns. Grayson Allen had a career night, made 10 3-pointers. Um, only against the Pelicans, right?
Always.
Bunch of Pels Mafias calling for Willie Green's head after that those brutal two games. Which is funny how we won those two games and people are saying, all right, Willie Green might have his job until the turn of the year, until 2026. But I, that's just proof how quick things can change. Zion Williamson should be coming back next game, not this game, but hopefully next game. It's very frustrating. It's very, very, very frustrating how Zion already has missed this many games. Like I genuinely don't know what his trade value would be right now.
Yeah.
Because of how big his contract is. Granted, when we did give him that contract, it was very incentive based, but it's still a ton of money for somebody who plays 35 games on average a season. Um, if you could get a first round pick for Zion Williamson at the deadline, I would do it because let's let's be real, you're probably looking at a top 5 pick to the Atlanta Hawks. Assuming, the Pelicans don't turn it around and just bottom out. Hopefully they don't bottom out like they did last year.
Yeah.
Right? Um, but let's just call it as it is. I'm thinking at least probably like a top 7 pick would be headed to the Atlanta Hawks. And I've been listening to more and more um like NBA talk shows. And they're saying Derek Queen's looking good.
Mhm.
Derek Queen, the player's looking good. But they're saying the Hawks probably would have said yes to the trade even with a protection on the pick. Like even if Joe Dumars said, "Hey, look, we'll give you a top 7 protected pick." For the Derek Queen, I forget what number it was, maybe like 13. Um, and they think the Hawks still would have said yes because their guy, Asa Newell, he was a point guard from Georgia.
Was falling.
Yeah, he was their guy, so they were cool with just taking him. Like they were going to take him at 13 either way, and they just traded back and got an unprotected first round pick. But they were saying they would have taken the Hawks would have accepted the trade with a protection on it. So I don't know why, if you're Joe Dumars, you wouldn't at least try it with the protection. But I don't know. I like how Derek Queen has looked so far this season. He needs to start getting more minutes. Um, at the beginning of the season, I mean, he was playing like 7 minutes a night.
Yeah,
That's not the case anymore, thank God.
because I watched the PC Blitz video.
Yeah, exactly. Because I watched the pod, but I mean, he's deserved. Derek Queen has played his way into the lineup.
Yeah,
I think so.
sure.
He's looked good. He has a very unique play style. Jeremiah Fears has also looked pretty good. Has his ups and downs, just like every other rookie in the NBA. But right now, obviously, you never want to give up a top 7 pick with no protections on it. But Derek Queen has looked pretty good, and Jeremiah Fears has looked pretty good. Hopefully, they can keep the franchise in New Orleans, Brock.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for bringing that back up. So I just looked up Zion's contract. So it was he signed this in 20 whenever. I think it was 2023.
Either 2023 or 2022. One of the
Okay.
two.
Either way, it was a 5-year, $197 million extension. With the first 2 years, he gets $70.7 million guaranteed. And then the remaining 3 seasons are non-guaranteed, and there's a bunch of incentives. Playing time and conditioning is the like the main two.
As it should be.
Yeah, for this season, it's 39.4 million guaranteed. And then the next two, it's going to be 42 and 44, which
For,
they'd be non-guaranteed unless he meets the incentives.
yeah. Um, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But money in sports is crazy. I'm actually writing a paper on that right now for my English class. Um, like for example, De'Aaron Fox, who just torched the Pelicans the other night in his debut, his season debut. He signed a over the offseason, he signed a deal worth $223 million across only 4 years. Folks, that's damn near $56 million annually. That's unbelievable.
That's a lot.
Yes, De'Aaron Fox is a great, great, great player. New Orleans' very own. Um, but that is too much money, I think. But we're that's a whole nother thing. I mean, you got Emmanuel quickly making $100 million a year, or $100 million on his contract. Sorry,
About
not
to
a year,
say,
not a year. I think Emmanuel quickly signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. And if you ask the casual NBA player or NBA fan, they'll know who Emmanuel quickly is.
you sitting right here.
Yeah. You know what team he's on?
Raptors.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Um, but I'll give the average NBA fan a 50-50 shot
Yeah.
about knowing what
No,
team Emmanuel
100%.
Quickly's on, and he's gonna eventually make $100 million. So anyway, that's enough on the NBA. Pelicans hopefully can get a win tonight against a good Trailblazers team. Drew Holiday's return.
My favorite
Um,
Pelican of all time.
me too. He's returning to the SKC. Where he made a name for himself. He was an all-star in Philadelphia, but he really made a name for himself in New Orleans. So, yeah, with that being said, you want to transition this to
LS Hoops.
Ellis Hoops. Yeah, Brock, what you got?
So LSU Tigers have obviously played 2 games already. Two absolute
You've
dominant.
been at both.
We were at both. So I maybe we will be at the one tomorrow night against
FIU?
FIU. Should be an interesting game. I don't know anything much about FIU basketball.
Huh.
Don't really see their name in the tournament whenever I'm making my bracket every year, but neither do I. I don't see LSU much either. Um,
Maybe.
but yeah, LSU offenses look lights out. They're averaging 95 points a game. I'd say it's pretty solid.
Crazy.
They can shoot the lights out of the ball. I'll just say that, like
Markel Sutton.
Markel Sutton, Max McKinnon, D-Dan Thomas is a playmaker and point guard.
Playmaker, yeah.
Michael Nwoko he cleans up the boards and he's very good underneath. Jalen Reed still kind of coming back from his ACL tear.
Jalen Reed and Robert Miller.
Jalen Reed comes off the bench, folks.
Yeah.
That was your best player last year, and he's off the bench. Now that is because he's due to injury, but he's looked very good. Um, Pablo Tamba has looked pretty solid. He's a guy. He's from Spain, for those who don't know. Most people, I'm probably just speaking a different language with these names because you probably don't pay attention much to LSU basketball. But
They're looking good though.
we're gonna help you. They are looking very good.
They got a deep team, and
Very deep.
they got a deep team. The only thing is with LSU, it might be just a lack of like just pure playmakers. I mean, I'd say Max McKinnon's really your guy, like as um, a scorer, like a bucket getter. Deaton Thomas has been good. He's going to be a good playmaker, but I feel like if you take away Max McKinnon, there's going to be kind of limited scoring. But that hasn't been an issue so far.
I mean, I'm looking at the points per game. Max McKinnon's your fifth leading scorer right now. And obviously, it's only been 2 games.
Yeah.
But Michael Nwoko is averaging 16 and a half a game. Markel Sutton, as you said, is averaging 14.
Markel Sutton can also make some plays.
14 with 8.5 rebounds. He's averaging almost a double-double a game.
Markel Sutton in the game against UNO had like back-to-back possessions where he made threes or something like that.
He's been very, very good. I think he had 20 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Or maybe something like that. It was crazy. Okay, he only had 15 points total. But he had a double-double. He had a 15 and 15 double-double, which is insane.
Whoa.
Let me go back. Sorry. Against Tarleton State, we'll go way back to I think last week. Opening night. That was Max McKinnon. That was the Max McKinnon show. He had, I think, 20 points on the dot. He was making everything, it felt like. Hit the corner threes, literally wherever you put him, he was making them.
Yeah, he was getting buckets. He was kind of off against UNO, but he was a bucket against Tarleton.
But what impressed me was he was off, but the rest of the team stepped up. So you need that. And this team is a bunch of veteran guys with some young playmakers, which is what you need to be good at March.
Deaton Thomas is really impressed me as a playmaker. Really has.
Yeah, absolutely. One guy they're not playing who's a 4-star freshman is Mozzie Mosley. Obviously, Ryan Gaddy on this podcast. He loves Mozzie Mosley. He hasn't been seeing the court much. Now is that a test to he's just young and they're gonna redshirt him? I don't know. But the other 4-star freshman that came in, Jalen Reese, has been very solid as a backup to point guard to D-Dan. Yep. He's averaging. I can't see, but hold up. I think he's averaging. Okay, 3.5 points per game, but he makes his presence known.
Yeah.
He makes plays happen. And that's what I want to say about D-Dan Thomas. He might not be a playmaker, but he makes plays around him happen. Between the alley-oops and Nwoko, the driving in and kicking out to Max McKinnon or Markel Sutton. LSU might be a sneaky team this year.
Yeah.
Maybe not a tournament team, but they might ruin some teams' hopes.
Yeah, no, this LSU team is different than like the last couple of years. Like the last couple of years, it's just been like
horrible.
It's been horrible. Like you've seen no promise. This year, I'm seeing some promise.
Mm-hmm. And I love Coach Matt McMahon. Even in the fourth quarter, up 20, is still yelling and getting into him. Low Nick Saban-esque. Which
wow, that was not like
which I think it's a perfect segue. Nick Saban, for those who didn't see it, is now the betting favorite at 2-1 to take the LSU job. Yes, you heard that correctly. In 2025,
the odds just randomly completely changed.
Exactly. Just
someone knows something.
That's what I'm saying. So people who might be saying like, no, he's not going to come. Clearly, somebody knows something, like you said. So keep an eye out for that because that would be just. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even put that into words.
And like Brock said, I would have to see it with my own 2 eyes at the stadium to believe that Nick Saban is coaching the LSU Tigers.
Not the press conference at a basketball game where he's talking. I need to see him against Clemson. I need to see his face red as a beet, yelling at Michael Van Buren coming off the field while we're up 25 against Southeastern. Okay, that's when I know Nick Saban's our coach. Just keep an eye out. That's all I'll say.
We would be spamming Jarrell Run the Route again. We would be spamming that.
If LSU hires that, I will do that on the pod. If LSU hires Nick Saban, I will do that on the pod.
Remember this, folks.
Connor says I do a really good impression of Nick Saban.
It's not just me. I think it's consensus that you do a really good.
The famous Jarrell Run the Route again. Apparently, I do a really good impression of that. So LSU hires Nick Saban, I will be doing that on the pod. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Anything else you wanna get into?
No. Fighting Houdats on a bye, so not really too much to talk about there. Yeah, thank you for all the support, by the way. We're getting a lot of traction on TikTok right now. Keep it growing. We're gonna keep producing content. And yeah, we're gonna stay consistent.
Always. Tune back in, episode 74 on Friday, another edition of College Game Day. Guest picker still in the air.
Possibly some UFC. Maybe.
That's the hint at the guest picker if he's watching. We haven't asked him yet, but we'll see. But yeah, tune back in on Friday. Thank you for watching this one. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.